Hello students, in the previous video we have already learned about the Biot-Savitz's law, which helped us in finding out the magnetic field due to infinite current carrying conductor at any given point, and we know what was the formula for this. The magnetic field at any point was given by mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r by r square. We have applied this formula again on the circular coil which carried current I, and we have tried to find out what is the magnetic field on the axis of a circular coil using Biot-Savitz's law. But using Biot-Savitz's law is a little tedious process, and there is another law which is known as Ampere's circuital law, and it is an alternative way to express the Biot-Savitz's law. It makes the process of finding out the magnetic field at any given point simpler by any given configuration in which the current is flowing. So just now we will be learning how to use Ampere's circuital law and what exactly is Ampere's circuital law. So I am just erasing it. So according to Ampere's circuital law, suppose this is a current carrying conductor which carries a current I. Now you assume that there is a surface like this. There is a surface like this. And this surface is open from here. It is almost like this. It is almost like this. It is open from here and is bounded. So the shape of the surface is almost like this. Now this loop, the open boundary of the surface, is known as an Amperian loop. So according to Ampere's circuital law, the closed line integral of the magnetic field on this Amperian loop, the closed line integral of the magnetic field on this Amperian loop is equal to mu naught times the current enclosed by the loop. The current which is enclosed by the loop, which is flowing from here. So this is Ampere's circuital law, that you have a surface which is open and this open boundary is a loop like this. So B dot dl is equal to mu naught times the current enclosed by the loop. Now if you really remember, we have already done in the first chapter, which was related to the electric field. Initially we had learned how to calculate the electric field by using the formula F by Q, where we took the limit Q approaches 0. And then later on we tried to find out the electric field due to a given configuration of charges by using Gauss's law. Gauss's law. And Gauss's law stated that integral of E dot ds is equal to Q by epsilon naught. That is the closed surface integral over the Gaussian surface is equal to, or the closed surface integral of the electric field over the given Gaussian surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed by the surface. So this was something that we have done in our first chapter. Now in the current chapter we have to find out what is the value of the magnetic field at any given point due to a given system of conductor. And for this we will be using Ampere's circuital law, and which I have already given the statement is closed line integral of magnetic field over a given Amperian loop is mu naught times the current enclosed by the loop. Now we will be using this Biot-Savitz's, this Ampere's circuital law, and find out what is the magnetic field due to this straight current carrying conductor. You will see how this makes the process simpler. The method is very, very simple. Now, whatever we have drawn over here is a straight conductor. It is infinite in length. Suppose we want to find out what is the magnetic field at this particular point. So, this is our Amperian loop. Now, how will we find it out? We will say that, let us say magnetic field is B over here. Now, holding the conductor in our right hand and curling the fingers like this, so that the thumb points in the direction of the current, will give you the direction of the magnetic field. So, the direction of the curling fingers is giving us the direction of the magnetic field. So, if you closely see my fingers which are curled like this, so at this particular point, which is A, where I have to find out the magnetic field, for example, at this particular point, let us say this is at a distance R from the conductor. Now, at this point, the magnetic field is pointing inwards. You can see the magnetic field is pointing inwards into the plane of the board. And if you consider a small length element over here, let us say this length element is dl. So, I will again show it with the help of this. Now, for this circular path over here, we consider this as an Amperian loop. Now, if magnetic field is in this direction, as shown by black marker, the same is the direction of the dl vector. dl, the length element, will also be in the same direction, because B is tangential to this and dl is also tangential to this, like this. Now, if both B and dl are in the same direction, then B dot dl will become B dl cos of 0 degrees. Now, you have to take a closed line integral, and this is equal to mu naught times the current enclosed, and the current enclosed by this loop is I only. I is the current flowing through the conductor at this particular point also, so current enclosed is I only. Now, cos 0 is 1, and you need to find out the value of B. So, we will write down B here, and we get in the integral as this, which is mu naught I. Now, B into, for this Amperian loop, complete Amperian loop, dl is 2 pi r, the circumference. If r is the radius of this loop, then the whole circumference is 2 pi r. So, B into 2 pi r is equal to mu naught I, which further implies that magnetic field is equal to mu naught I divided by 2 pi r. Now, you can see easily that the magnetic field at this point, that is at a distance r from the given conductor, is given by the expression mu naught times I, which is the current flowing through the conductor, divided by 2 pi r. That is, magnetic field is at this point inversely related to the distance. So, using this expression and taking an Amperian loop has made the process of calculating the magnetic field very, very easy for us. Clear? Now, we have to write down 4 particular points which we have understood by using the Amperian loop. So, the first point that we will be writing is that the field at every point on the circle. For example, you have taken an Amperian loop over here. Let us say you have taken an Amperian loop over here. Now, at the point which is at a distance r from this circle, the value of magnetic field, whichever you have calculated over here, will be the same over here. If you take an Amperian loop here, then at the same distance r from the conductor, the value of magnetic field will be the same. So, it means that for a straight infinite conductor, the magnetic field is showing a cylindrical symmetry. Cylindrical symmetry means at all the points on the cylinder, like this I have shown, the magnetic field will be the same. So, this is what it is, that it is showing a cylindrical symmetry. Then the other thing is that although this is an infinite, so first point you have already noted that the magnetic field for a straight current carrying conductor is showing a cylindrical symmetry. So I will write it down here, just erasing it, and I am writing it here. It is showing a cylindrical symmetry. Then next point is that as we go further and further away from the current carrying conductor, the magnetic field is decreasing because it is inversely related to R. But it is not infinite. Although the current carrying conductor has an infinite length, the value of B it doesn't go infinite, it is finite. It only becomes infinite if we are very, very close to the conductor when R approaches 0. If R is 0, then obviously our magnetic field will become infinite. But otherwise, the magnetic field has a finite value, although the conductor that we have taken, the length of the conductor that we have taken is infinite. Then there is a third point which says that the direction of the magnetic field is always tangential to the Amperian loop which you have taken. So if we talk about the magnetic field here, it will be like this. If we talk about magnetic field here, it will be like this. If we talk about magnetic field here, it will be like this. So magnetic field is always tangential to the loop that you have considered. So these are the 3 points that you have to remember how we are expressing the magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor. Now we will be doing an example to understand how to apply Biot-Savart's law. How to apply Ampere's circuital law. Now, question is, we have a conductor like this, and current I is uniformly distributed. The current I is uniformly distributed throughout the cross section of the given conductor. Now, the question is, what will be the magnetic field at this point and what is the magnetic field at this point? That is, magnetic field at a point inside the conductor, it is really thick, and magnetic field at a point outside the conductor as shown. Now, let us further assume that the radius of our conductor is A. Now we want to find out what is the magnetic field at this point. Now just now we have said that in order to find out the magnetic field at a particular point, we will have to consider an Amperian loop. So let us say that this is our Amperian loop. And this is the axis of the conductor that we have taken. Now the point where we have to find out the magnetic field is A. Let us say the distance from this point, from the axis to the point where we have to find out magnetic field is R. So this is our Amperian loop. Now, how will we apply Ampere's circuital law here? We know that B dot dl closed integral is mu naught times I enclosed. Right? So now, because you have to find out B over here, right? So B you have to find out. Again, because the current is flowing like this and you have taken a circular loop like this, B dot dl, just now as we have done in the previous question, that the magnetic field and dl vectors both are making zero angle with each other. So B dot dl will be B dl cos 0. So we will be writing B dl itself. And because B will be constant, so in integral we will be having dl only. So B closed integral dl is equal to mu naught times I enclosed. Now if I current is flowing through the whole cross section, how much current is enclosed by this loop? We have to find it out. How will we find it out? Current enclosed by this loop will be current I per unit cross sectional area. Now what will be the current I per unit cross sectional area of the conductor. Now the conductor has a radius A. So I upon pi A square will be current per unit area flowing through the conductor. This multiplied by pi R square will be the current flowing through this loop. Clear? So the current enclosed in this loop will be this much. This much. Now pi cancels out with pi. So you have mu naught I R square upon A square. So this is B closed integral of dl, and closed integral of dl, again the circumference, this will be 2 pi R. So we get magnetic field B is equal to 2 pi R. We will take on the right hand side. It is mu naught I R square upon A square into 1 upon 2 pi R. Right? Now again 1 R cancels with this R, and I am writing down the expression for B here. Magnetic field B is equal to mu naught I R divided by 2 pi A square. Now mu naught is a constant, 2 pi is a constant, current that is flowing I is a constant, and A square, the radius of the given conductor, is a constant. So magnetic field B is directly proportional to R. It is directly proportional to R. So this is the first thing that you have calculated. The magnetic field at the point A will be given by, obviously this is the magnitude, it will be given by this expression, and it is directly proportional to R. Now I am just erasing this to find out the magnetic field at the point B. Right? Now in order to find out the magnetic field at this point, so we will take another Amperian loop like this, and the radius of this Amperian loop will now be R. Right? Now B dot dl, again the same thing, B dot dl will be B dl cos 0, and B is constant, so we'll have this. This is equal to mu naught. How much is the current enclosed by this loop? Now for this Amperian loop, the current enclosed is the current I itself, because the whole I current is flowing through this loop. So we don't have to do anything. We will only write I total, which is flowing through the conductor. So B into, now dl is again 2 pi R, is equal to mu naught I. So B is equal to mu naught I divided by 2 pi R. Right? So magnetic field now at the point B is inversely related to the distance R. So you can write down B is inversely related to the distance R. Correct? Now, these two expressions which we have just now derived, one is that inside the conductor, the magnetic field varies in direct proportionality with the distance, whereas outside the conductor, it varies as inverse relationship with the conductor, with the distance. So if we really want to draw a graph between magnetic field and the distance R, so up till A, which is the radius of the conductor, the magnetic field is varying like this, straight, direct proportionality. And after this, it is varying as 1 by r. So it will go like this. So the graph between magnetic field and the distance will be shown like this. Up till A, it will be a straight line, and after A, it will be a declining curve, which has been shown by this. So using Ampere's circuital law, we have been able to find out what is the magnetic field at any point inside a current carrying conductor in which the current was uniformly distributed, and what is the magnetic field at the point B outside the conductor. Correct? Now we will also apply the same law on a solenoid and a toroid.